Where are we going in 2011? Let me ask you, are you happy that a self-proclaimed atheist in a de facto relationship sits in the seat of power over our nation, having got there through craft and manipulation? Are you happy that the Greens, a paganistic anti-Christian front for the homosexual lobby, will hold the balance of power in the Senate over the whole nation? Are you happy that the gay Mardi Gras will draw hundreds of thousands of drunken youth to Sydney streets to incite in them all manner of lust and filth? In 2011, is it important to you that there will be over 100,000 human sacrifices here in the nation of Australia, as over 100,000 boys and girls are murdered in what is supposed to be the safety of their mothers' wombs? We must realize that we are at war. There is a spiritual battle raging around us that we will lose unless we mobilize and do something about it. There is no doubt that incredibly dark times are coming upon our nation. But we must realize that we as God's people are given the God-given authority to turn the tide and halt the evil if we want to. The Bible says in 2 Chronicles 7:14, if my people which are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sins and heal their land. We must realize that we have the key. We are our brother's keeper. We must remember that evil prevails when good men do nothing. 34 years ago, over 20,000 concerned Australians gathered right here at the War Memorial in Sydney's Hyde Park, at the height of the Festival of Light movement here in Australia. 20,000 Australian Christians concerned about the moral depravity rising in the nation. The question rings out today, could we see 20,000 gather again to make a stand against moral depravity, against the sexual immorality rising? Could we even see 10,000? We're looking for 10,000 warriors, 10,000 men and women prepared to make a difference right here in Sydney, Australia. At 7:45 on March the 5th, 2011, an estimated 450,000 will line these streets to celebrate Australia's high day of sexual immorality, the gay Mardi Gras. If the 2011 Mardi Gras is anything like previous Mardi Gras, well then these grounds of Hyde Park will be strewn with the bodies of drunken teenagers, 13, 14, 15-year-old children celebrating, watching, and in some cases participating in forms of sex that they cannot really begin to understand or be expected to understand. There will be drugs, there will be alcohol, there will be violence, there will be beatings, there will be debauchery. The question is this really what we want to represent our city? Is this really what Sydney is all about? If your answer is no, we're asking you to join us right here at the Australian War Memorial, right here in Hyde Park, Sydney, to a peaceful, non-confrontational prayer and worship rally to do spiritual battle against the darkness that is rising in Australia, right here at the Australian War Memorial that celebrates the memory of the men who laid down their lives in the great 20th century wars against evil. We'll be right here on the Elizabeth Street side of Hyde Park at 6 p.m. on Saturday, March the 5th, to show Australia's youth that real men love God and stand for righteousness. The godly men and women are not afraid to stand up against the opinions of this generation, of its media, or the militant homosexual lobby. Understand that this is not an attack on bruised and confused individuals that need the love of Jesus to set them free. It is rather a stand against the flagrant and militant promotion of sexual immorality, including homosexuality, to our nation's youth. I believe with all my heart that the fervent prayers of the mature sons and daughters of God can shut down the gay Mardi Gras and turn the tide of evil that is rising amongst the youth in our nation. Do you believe it? If you believe it, join us here, right here in Hyde Park, to do spiritual battle. Though I tried hard to stage the Stand for Righteousness event in Hyde Park near the Anzac Memorial, police and authorities in Sydney have insisted that we change the rally to Martin Place because they cannot guarantee to protect us. Therefore, we will be meeting at Martin Place for the Stand for Righteousness rally, 6 p.m. on March the 5th. Join us. Get your pastor involved. Get your church involved. It is time that we rise up and shut down the gay Mardi Gras. See you there.
It's my pleasure to invite you to join with us for a stand for righteousness on the night of the Sydney Homosexual and Lesbian Mardi Gras. This parade, that's been held for many years, involves obscenity, blasphemy and indecency. It's time for the Christians to stand together against this Mardi Gras in prayer as we call on God to help us in this battle. I look forward to seeing you there. God bless you.